What's up, everyone? This is Killer VZ2 bringing you an episode of Gun Mistakes, where I check out mistakes of, well, guns in video games. This is Halo Combat Evolved. I am playing the Anniversary Edition with the Master Chief Collection. I'm going to be using the newer graphics just because it's easier on the eyes. And we'll be seeing what kind of mistakes the guns make as opposed to their real guns. For this, I will be sticking to human weapons, seeing as how there is no equivalent for Covenant guns to compare to in real life, really. They are weird, don't make sense, and run on batteries. To start out, I would like to point out a couple problems right off the bat with all guns across the game. The first of which is noticeable here, is the flashlight. For Marines, all the guns have flashlights on the weapon. However, for Master Chief, you can't use them. The flashlight comes from his helmet. So, I don't know, I mean, that's not really a mistake per se. I mean, maybe he just prefers the helmet one since they don't seem to have one. Another mistake is, let me just take care of this guy. As you could see, that assault rifle just gave me 240 rounds. When you come across a gun just laying around, it can have up to full inventory capacity for the gun. So, again, you know, this is gonna be nitpicky stuff, but this is just what we're going with so far. Another problem with all of the guns in the game is, depending on the gun you have, I'll use the sniper rifle as an example. When you shoot, you can reload, and now there should be an extra bullet in the gun, as there's 4 in the clip. You shoot, it ejects one. You take the clip out, however, there's still 1 in the chamber, and you pop another round in. That is the same with all guns except the couple guns in this, specifically the assault rifle, where he empties the gun every time you reload. A good weapon to start with, in my opinion, is the sniper rifle. I believe it to be the most realistic of the guns working. It's I believe a 14.5 millimeter by something like 114 millimeters, which makes it, I think, the equivalent of a 57 caliber. So that's a big, heavy sniping round. It makes sense. Here you'll see that a full reload, he actually does have to chamber another round, unlike a couple of the guns in this game, right there. And, like I showed earlier, reloading without emptying the whole thing, he doesn't have to chamber one, which is good that there are 2 reloading animations. However, as I brought up, there should be 5 rounds in the gun now. As far as the scope goes, you know, it's a variable zoom. It's kind of low for a sniping rifle, especially a sniper rifle of this caliber. 2 times and then 10 times. Generally, something like this would have a much heavier, and the scope does look like it's a much heavier scope than you can use. Another thing is the night vision. That, you know, there are night vision scopes, so that makes sense. Something I'll be showing off with all the guns is their, well, we'll call it an equip animation when you pull out the weapon. This, all he does is pull out the gun. Every time you do it, he pulls out the gun. You'll see some of the other guns, there's little tiny mistakes. The last thing I want to bring up about this gun is, if you fire on unsuspecting enemies and you kill the enemy you're going for, it will not alert other enemies, which the gun is not suppressed. It doesn't make a different noise when you take someone out silently. So that's a little unrealistic based on how loud this would be. Next up, we have the assault rifle. It's your standard, you know, assault rifle, fully automatic weapon. There are no problems, in my opinion, with the actual manual use of the gun. The reload animation is the same whether you empty an entire clip or part of the clip, which means this gun doesn't make the mistake of not chambering a 61st round, which is the capacity of this gun. As you can see over here, it is a 7.62 by 51 millimeter round. That's more commonly known, in the US at least, as the 308 round, which is a pretty significant round to have in a fully automatic weapon. The only real problems with this gun are in the magazine. Okay, I'm going to do a reload animation here and show you the magazine. A couple things. As you can see right now, the magazine should still have ammo in it. When I empty it, if you look real quick, no bullets can be seen in the mag coming out or going into the gun. So I'm essentially taking out empty mags and putting in empty mags. The other thing is, if you notice the size of the magazine, there is no way in hell that magazine can hold 60 308 rounds. It's just not even... That magazine wouldn't even most likely hold 30. That's most likely the size of a 20 round magazine. So the capacity, all the problems with this gun in this game lie entirely in the magazine. The swap animation for this gun is actually fine too. All he's doing, ignore the pistol while I'm doing this, I'll get to that in a bit. But with the assault rifle, you notice all he's doing is just flipping the safety off every time. So there's no problems there either. You know, I would say in my opinion this is the second least messed up gun. Next up we have the quintessential Halo gun. This is the pistol. As you can see over here, it is chambered in a massive 12.7 by 40 millimeter round. That is a 50 caliber round, and it's bigger than the round. The case is longer than the round fired by the 50 caliber Action Express, which is commonly found in such things as the Desert Eagle. So this is an absolutely massive round to have in a semi-automatic weapon. As you can see, it holds 12, which, again, clip size, as you can see when it empties, there's no way that magazine would hold 12 50 caliber rounds. Now, the reload animation itself is not much of a problem. If you don't empty a clip, he doesn't chamber one, but that does bring up the problem of not having a 13th round now. And if you empty the whole magazine, as I will do right here, you'll notice the slide does lock open and then it closes shut again. So no problems there either. One problem with it though is the scope. The completely non-existent scope on the gun that for some reason you can zoom in with. This is not a helmet zoom. You cannot do this zoom with just any gun. It's this gun. And as you can see on the gun, there is no scope. One of the most noticeable problems with this gun is the swap animation. There's a couple things wrong with this. A, every time he'd take out the gun, he would be ejecting a shell. So after doing this 12 times, the gun would be empty. And also, if you notice, when he does open it, and you can look down into, you know, the chamber, you know, where the magazine's coming up through, where it would load a shell into the barrel, there are no bullets. And then, this isn't really a problem with the gun, but this is something that's always bugged me, is this punching animation. I just don't know how he positions his hand like that so fast. I don't know, that's a silly one. Last, but certainly not least, we have the shotgun. And if you're wondering, I'm not doing vehicle-mounted weapons or the rocket launcher. I would like to stick for these videos with, you know, your typical gunpowder, projectile type weapons, like your standard rifle rounds and shotguns, pistols, that type of deal. So, this gun does have 2 reloading animations. If you don't empty it, he just puts the shells in. And if you empty it entirely, which, while I'm doing this, if you look, the shells eject from the side, which I will get to in a second. But if you empty it the whole way, he pops the shells in the top, and then at the end, pumps the shotgun. Now, there's a couple things. You can actually see the flashlight up on front of this gun that you cannot use. Let me throw it on the ground here, if I can get it right. Okay, the shotgun shells came out the side. There is no side ejection port. And in fact, this is an odd gun. These do exist, but it's an odd configuration, as the shotgun shell tube is actually up top here with the barrel beneath. Most shotguns are, the shells are in the bottom here with the charging pump and the barrel on top. So, that's not a mistake, but it's just an odd thing to see. And you put the shells in up here, and there is no ejection port for them anywhere on the gun. So the shells are just coming out of thin air from the side of the gun. Another thing is, this supposedly holds 12 8-gauge rounds. Again, with size, there is no way you could get 12 rounds, 12 shotgun shells. I'm not aware of how short you can get 8 gauges. I know they're a very rare shell, very powerful, but I would imagine you can't get them any shorter than 2 3/4 inches, and there's no way you're getting 12 of them in there. Another thing is its swap animation. Every time he takes it out, he pumps it. Just like with the pistol, your gun would be empty after 12 rounds. Just like that. So, I hope you enjoyed. These are all very, very nitpicky things. I love the Halo games. I'll probably do the other ones at a later date. So, say in the comments all that stuff. If there's mistakes I missed, if there's things that I said were mistakes that you don't agree with, feel free to share your opinions. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.